Welcome, 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 welcome. Let me see if I had muted these things over here, man. Let me see. All right. Let me see if it was muted. Oh, wonderful. Awesome. That is it. Come on in, ladies and gentlemen. Come on in. We have a fulsome show for you. I don't even know if I'll be able to go through all the material I want to go through within the 2-hour span that I want to take at this very moment. Happy Monday. God bless you all. I hope that you guys are doing well wherever you are in the world. Let me see, which one of these? Clips. There we go. Let me go live on the clips. We have some things to go over, ladies and gentlemen. We have some things to go over. Lord have mercy. All right. Remember to like the video. Remember to share the video. Remember the super chat is available. Let me see. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see if it's muted over here as well.
Doctors.
Oh, this one is not muted. All right. So amazing. Let me start the live on this. Start the live on this. Start the live. Start the live. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Are we live? We good? All right, so I have to mute that too. All right, so we'll go there now. We'll go there now because I'll be sharing my screen, man, and going through some things, man. Whoa. TVJ active, man. The news is active, ladies. Welcome, guys. How you doing? Let me start my live on TikTok as well. Let me start my live on TikTok as well, my good people. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on in. Why Jamaica? Somebody send me a video there with the speaker of the house. I sing songs on stage. Me I wonder if it's a repentance 2.0. Merle Wagwan. Me I wonder if it's a repentance 2.0. I hope she genuine and sincere. That's all I can say. Because you can't fool God. Let's get into it.
Psalm 37. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass, and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Lord, and do good.
Yes.
So shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart.
Good to see you, Merle.
Commit thy way unto the Lord, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday. Rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Cease from anger, and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil, for evildoers shall be cut off. But those that wait upon the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. For yet for a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword, and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked. But the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholdeth the righteous. The Lord knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume, into smoke shall they consume away. The wicked borroweth and payeth not again, but the righteous showeth mercy and giveth. For such as be blessed of him shall inherit the earth, and they that be cursed of him shall be cut off. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholdeth him with his hand. I have been young, and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. He is ever merciful, and lendeth, and his seed is blessed. Depart from evil, and do good, and dwell for evermore. For the Lord loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved for ever. But the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. The righteous shall inherit the land, and dwell therein for ever. The mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom, and his tongue talketh of judgment. The law of his God is in his heart. None of his steps shall slide. The wicked watcheth the righteous, and seeketh to slay him. The Lord will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. Wait on the Lord, and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. I have seen the wicked in great power, and spreading himself like a green bay tree. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yea, I sought him, but he could not be found. Mark the perfect man, and behold the upright, for the end of that man is peace. But the transgressors shall be destroyed together. The end of the wicked shall be cut off. But the salvation of the righteous is of the Lord. He is their strength in the time of trouble. And the Lord shall help them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them, because they trust in him.
This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Pick up yourself one Derval on the YouTube app, you know. People Derval up on YouTube, you know. Yeah, man, make sure you don't follow Derval, man. Derval the maroon. One Derval on the YouTube app. One Derval on the TikTok app. No. The word is love. See, as me I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, me see one little clip. I want big clip to about 20 minutes of Juliet Owens. Juliet Owens I sing gospel song. Me I wonder if I the wholeness repentance. Do you remember them go up on stage and them a repent? How they do this to the unborn and them something there? Me I wonder if I want next thing them a do again. Cause you see how the thing a go on. But anyway, the People's National Party came out swinging, you know, ladies and gentlemen. Zin, I don't know if me can big this up. Yeah man, me can big it up. And I think I should record this too, because this is important. It's very important. That we put this down in the record books. You see our Derval. Bless up on yourself on TikTok. Welcome. Please my side. If you don't appreciate the platform and you're not new here, remember the aim is 50k likes. So we want to get to 50k likes on TikTok. For YouTube, everybody that's watching, that is a supporter, I'm asking you to like the video. What with Juliet? No sir, that look real. Lady Andrea, how are you doing? As a top mother, big up. Blessings to each and every one. But enough about Juliet right now, ladies and gentlemen. We could talk about the entire government. Alright? Let us talk about the entire government. So we see here, ladies and gentlemen, and blessings to everybody. Welcome. If you're new, I encourage you to subscribe. Remember the super chat is available. Right? You can super chat and there's a pinned comment with further details on the YouTube pages where you can donate to other different options if you choose to. All donations go into the growth and development of the platform. Yes? Yes. All right. So, opposition spokesperson on housing and sustainable living condemns the government's failure to disburse house to persons affected by Hurricane Melissa. Kingston, Jamaica, July 6, 2026. The opposition spokesperson on housing and sustainable living, Professor Senator Floyd Morris, has condemned the government's failure to distribute the containerized house intended for citizens affected by Hurricane Melissa, despite repeated assurances that they have arrived in the island. Professor Senator Morris said it is unacceptable that 9 months after Hurricane Melissa destroyed the homes of thousands of Jamaicans, not a single family has received one of the 5,000 containerized houses the government committed to purchasing. It is a disgrace that 9 months after Hurricane Melissa destroyed the homes of citizens, the government having committed to purchase 5,000 container houses has not delivered a single house to one of these houses, not delivered a single one of these houses to citizens in the worst affected parishes. Professor Senator Morris said he noted that the country was initially told the houses would arrive in January 2026, only for the government to repeatedly revise its timeline. We were told that these houses would arrive in January 2026. Since then, there have been several revised arrival dates until May 2026. We were informed that more than 500 houses had arrived on the island. This announcement came only after I asked at an opposition press conference, where are the houses? What a disgrace, man. He noted that the country was initially told the houses would arrive. No, did I read that already? No. Professor Senator Morris further pointed out that during several Senate debates on the legislation establishing the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority, NARA, as well as debates concerning the continued annual extraction of the 11.4 billion from the National Housing Trust, similar questions were raised on each occasion. We were assured that the houses were already in Jamaica. Yet today, not a single one has been delivered to any citizen. The opposition spokesperson said the government owes the Jamaican people an honest explanation for the continued delay. Why, after indicating more than a month ago that the houses had arrived in the island, has not a single citizen in affected areas received containerized houses? This is both scandalous and disgraceful. Talk truth, no man. Talk truth, no man. He goes on to say here, ladies and gentlemen, that Professor Morris is calling on the government to answer the following questions. 1. What is causing the delay in distribution of these houses? 2. When will these houses be distributed? 3. How will they be distributed? 4. Where will they be distributed? 5. What is the role of the Member of Parliament playing in determining who received these houses? 6. What criteria will be used to determine eligibility? 7. Will the houses be sold, or will they be provided free of cost to affected citizens? Professor Senator Morris stressed that families who lost their homes should not be waiting indefinitely while the government remains silent. The people affected by Hurricane Melissa deserves more than promises. They deserve action, transparency, and the dignity of knowing when they will finally receive the assistance they were promised. Mighty God, mighty God.
Embarrassing. He needs some milk.
What an embarrassment. This government is they are scammers, they are shammers, they are con men and con women, they are liars, ladies and gentlemen. They continue to move the goalposts. And I believe that I believe that this lady right here that I did a video about on my TikTok, I believe that she is one of the reasons why things have intensified, And I'm going to continue to play it. And I'm going to also play the hold on, the warning for the Prime Minister. Hold on, I want to go on there, so.
Warning to the Prime Minister of Jamaica.
The servant of the Most High God and the friend of Almighty God, send to the woman Peter and your holiness to let you know that the Lord said, set your house in order. Amen. Set your house in order. Set your house in order. Because big ship sealed from the ocean. Come on, somebody give the Lord a praise. Come on, give the Lord a praise. Give the Lord a praise.
Warning to...
So, Andrew, boy, hey, God has sent all type of messenger for you. Set your house in order, man. Cause big ship a sail. You remember good? You know how much warning you get? May I tell you, say this year not gonna normal in Jamaica. You better pray for Andrew, man. Pray for him, you know. May I tell you, no, pray for him. Pray for him. And pray for him family too. Cause when the wrath of God unleashed upon people, everybody are sorry. All the people will never like Andrew are sorry for you. I want to pray for him, Jamaica. See the video. You tell me, say, no, Jamaica, you tell me, say, Andrew Owens love poor people and love Jamaican people. Now look at the state of this lady's situation right here, so. The poor lady have an arch, a hump back. You understand? I don't remember what the medical terminology is for that. But look how hazardous it is for her to actually enter her home or what is left of it. Garbage everywhere, furniture, the house top tear off, everything here. So, I mean, this lady look like she live alone. Look on zinc and furniture just dash like the hurricane. Everything will happen in a hurricane. Just leave this lady. Yo, man, I say, any laboratory coming on the comment section and defend Andrew, no go away. Me no rate to no. None at all, me no rate to no. Now Jamaica, you tell me, say, Andrew Owens love poor people and love Jamaican people. Now look at the state of this lady city with.
Months later, she's still living in Port. St. James senior citizen is pleading for help after Hurricane Melissa destroyed her home.
Jackie.
Months later, she's still living in poor conditions without proper shelter. With little support, Lesma Reed says there's nowhere else to turn. She says she has applied to the government's roofs program. However, the wait has been long and difficult.
Disagreeable and like a comment to make my believe myself to God. You know? That's it.
So you say you have somewhere, you have a room where you sleep in?
It's not even good, but with the bed, not okay. But I sleep on one side of that. When part, all of it has to go tear down. Because God just hold up that part for me.
As she holds on for assistance, Ms. Reed is hoping relief will come soon.
I'm saying for Mr. Wheatley down at the part office tomorrow. Because they say I was to come back the last of June, but I just wait until yesterday I went and I have a letter what he gave me to come back tomorrow morning to go over the Sagacor Bank.
In the meantime, a GoFundMe account has been set up under the title Help Miss Lesma Rebuild after Hurricane Melissa.
So ladies and gentlemen, the GoFundMe name is Help Miss Lesma Rebuild after Hurricane Melissa. If you look on any of my YouTube platforms, there is a post on the community wall with this screenshot. All right, I'm asking you guys to please. The aim is 7,000 USD. I am fully endorsing you guys going and donating to this GoFundMe. Miss Lesma is in a critical situation, right? Thank God for God. But in regards to the government, they have obviously failed too many of our people, and it's right in front of our faces. And there's no excuses for it. After 8 months, 9 months, we're in the 9th month right now, ladies and gentlemen. We are 6 days, right? Or 8 days into the 9th month. On the 28th of this month, we are going to finish 9 months since the storm has passed. This is unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. You understand? And I'm so happy that it came on TVJ, right? And there's a GoFundMe, right? And I hope that you get this money swiftly. And that's why I fully endorse it. We're not going to know anybody that is on the live right now, please screenshot this, all right, from Bolo TBV, or go to my community wall and either Bolo VNR clips, Bolo VNR 2.0, or Bolo TBV, and you will see on the community wall this picture with the GoFundMe on it, TVJ logo and everything, and you guys can go ahead and you guys can put your bit where you can put. Anything God call upon your heart for do it for the lady. All right, that is it. Like and share this with the ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna move on. So now finish with that. Ladies and gentlemen, I have something that came on the Washington Post. Jamaica protests. As a matter of fact, this is a record, you know. This next article that I want to look into, ladies and gentlemen, is coming directly from the Washington Post. I had to get the PDF file to read it because it wouldn't open online. And thank you to the person that sent me this. All right, let me see. We're going to read it out loud. Yes, it makes sense. I do that for persons that are on TikTok. Because the AI read faster, not true? We want the AI read faster. So let me see if we can do that. Here we go.
Jamaicans protest deal with U.S. to host deportees from other countries. Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Hundreds of protesters gathered in Kingston, Jamaica, in objection to a deal between their government and Washington that makes the island a way station for U.S. deportees bound elsewhere. The demonstration, which drew more than 500 people Tuesday, reflects growing unease, organizers told the Washington Post, over Jamaica's addition to the expanding network of countries that have agreed to facilitate a signature Trump administration immigration policy, third country deportations, in which migrants are sent to countries other than their own. Neither the United States nor Jamaica has made public the text of their agreement. But in a statement last month, Jamaica's Minister of National Security, Horace Chang, said the country would receive up to 25 third country nationals every 2 weeks, all of them in transit to other destinations, not necessarily their home countries.
One of the things that I want you guys to take note of, Andrew Wallace lied to that lady in the video, right? And tell us that they're technically not deportees. If you notice the wording that is used in this article, is third country deportations. They are deportees. Joanne Sinclair, how are you doing, my darling? Let's continue. Remember to like and share, ladies and gentlemen.
countries. The Department of Homeland Security, which oversees immigration and customs enforcement, did not respond immediately to requests for comment on the agreement's details or purpose. The Jamaican embassy in Washington did not respond immediately to a request for the full text of the agreement. Implementing the Trump administration's immigration policies is a top priority for the State Department, it said in a statement, in response to requests for information on the deal. We remain unwavering in our commitment to end illegal and mass immigration and bolster America's border security. People with criminal records would not be accepted, and Jamaica retains the authority to reject any individual proposed for transfer, Chong said. Once in Jamaica, deportees might apply for asylum, which could be granted by local courts. Neither government has said what, if any, compensation Jamaica would receive under the arrangement. I am concerned that we could have people coming here who are not safe people to have in our society, Mark Golding, Jamaica's opposition leader, who attended the protest, told the Post. He pointed to what he said appeared to be the government's reliance on U.S. screening without conducting its own vetting process. Errors can be made, he said. At this time, I am not in favor of this agreement. Despite Chang's assurance otherwise, the secrecy surrounding the agreement has fueled concerns that foreign criminals could be released into a country already grappling with public safety challenges. Jamaica recorded 674 murders last year. The island's economy remains heavily dependent on tourism. After the Jamaica Gleaner, a newspaper in Kingston, reported on the non-binding agreement last month, a video of Secretary of State Marco Rubio speaking at an April 2025 cabinet meeting resurfaced on social media. In the clip, Rubio said the United States was actively seeking countries willing to receive some of the most despicable human beings who were not its own nationals.
You know, I heard somebody on Andre's show that called in and said that Rubio is racist and no, there's no despicables coming through, and these people are none of those things. I'm saying I don't buy that. I don't buy that because of the legal implications of this thing. These are persons that are caught on the border, yes? Normally they would throw away their papers, right, Carol? Right, Joan? Normally they throw away their papers. So really and truly, if we're being honest, it's up in the air what the status of these people are, and that's a problem. And this is why Mark Golden is saying we need to do our own vetting. It's the responsible thing to do. And if it is indeed that, you know, the vetting of these people cannot be forthcoming where you can guarantee that they aren't persons that has criminal background as described as Marco Rubio, then I don't think we can take that chance. It's too big of a risk, and this has been the position of a responsible leader in Mark Golding from the jump. That has been his position, and it's not an unreasonable position to have. It is the most responsible position to take. You understand? Let's continue.
We are deeply concerned, said Kay Osborne, a good governance advocate who helped organize Tuesday's demonstration with a coalition of about a dozen activist groups. This commitment was made without parliamentary oversight or public consultation, a failure of transparency that we find unacceptable. Jamaica is still recovering from last year's devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa, which killed at least 45 people and left an estimated $12.2 billion in damage and losses, equivalent to 56.7% of the country's 2024 gross domestic product, according to government estimates released in March. Our country faces severe resource constraints, and our socioeconomic foundation, our existing infrastructure, is not sufficiently robust to accommodate such a commitment. Nor can our public services absorb the additional strain while we are still struggling to rebuild, Osborne said. The United States has implemented at least 34 such agreements and deported more than 19,000 people to 24 countries under them, according to a tally by the Third Country Deportation Watch, a tracking project run by rights groups. Human rights organizations have warned that many of those countries are unsafe destinations or lack fair and effective asylum procedures. This administration is attempting to evade protections under U.S. and international law that don't allow the U.S. to refoul or return to persecution and torture people to their home country, said Yael Shocker, director for the Americas and Europe at Refugees International, a U.S.-based humanitarian group. They are basically getting a third country to do it instead. A report released in February by Democratic members of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee said the government has sent more than $32 million to foreign governments in direct connection with third country deportation agreements. The administration has argued that the agreements are necessary because some home countries refuse to accept their nationals, but evidence contradicts these claims, the report found.
Ladies and gentlemen, wanna hear that? Wanna see the legal nuclear minefield that this particular agreement has surrounding it? This article is very damning, you know. It says this administration is attempting to evade protection under U.S. and international law that does not allow the U.S. to revolt or return to prosecution and torture people to their home country, said Yael Shocker, director of Americas and Europe at Refugees International, a U.S.-based humanitarian group. They are basically getting third countries to do it. So Jamaica is one of the third countries that America, according to this person, is getting to use them to evade protection under U.S. and international law. Jamaica is going to be in a legal bind potentially, ladies and gentlemen, where international law is concerned. So when you hear the Prime Minister come out and talk, you notice how Horace Chang quiet from the other day? We don't hear a peep from him. He's been very, very quiet, ladies and gentlemen. This is very serious. This is not a joke business. This is not politics. Where if I say, oh, somebody that try to tear down the government. This is international law. The government, in my opinion, based off all these things that are up in the air legally, should not engage in any way, shape, or form. Take themselves out of it. Leave this one alone until the legal issues surrounding this third country national business is solved in the courts. And then if it is that they are in the right, only can make a decision when you come to us, the Jamaican people, and ask us if we want to be a part of this with all the details put in front of us. Just like what the Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister did. Lay it down in Parliament for them to have a debate. Skip big up. Yes? Let's continue.
Found. According to the report, the Trump administration provided at least $4.76 million to the Salvadoran government in connection with the detention of more than 250 Venezuelans deported from the United States. The report also accused the Trump administration of sending a Jamaican national to Eswatini in southern Africa at an estimated cost of more than $181,000 last year. Weeks later, that individual was flown more than 7,000 miles back to Jamaica on a series of U.S.-funded flights. Jamaican officials said it was untrue that the country had been unwilling to accept its citizen, according to the report. In February, a federal court halted certain third country deportations, but a higher court later allowed them to resume while the legal challenge proceeded. Some rights organizations and opposition groups in Eswatini denounced their government's agreement with Washington as human trafficking disguised as deportation after the United States sent 5 men from Vietnam, Laos, Jamaica, Yemen, and Cuba there on July 16th last year. About 100 people later protested outside the U.S. Embassy, AP reported. Eswatini has since received additional deportees. More than 40 non-governmental organizations have publicly called for an end to the practice in Costa Rica. Some lawmakers in Palau, one of the world's smallest countries by population, opposed the agreement but ultimately failed to block it. The first migrants arrived there in late May. Last month, an international coalition of human rights lawyers and advocates sued. Similar. Ghana in a regional court, accusing the government of forcibly returning deportees from the United States to countries they had fled in violation of their rights. In Jamaica, demonstrators said their concerns extend well beyond the deportation deal. Protesters denounced what they described as the government's lack of transparency, questioned public spending in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, and pointed to a corruption scandal involving a cabinet minister. By about 7 a.m. Tuesday, people had begun gathering, many carrying Jamaica's black, green, and gold flag, some carrying signs that read, "I stand against political bullyism, corruption, unaccountability, lies," or "Stand with Jamaica."
So, that is the fulsome article on the Washington Post. And it clearly outlines that there's a significant legal battle going on. There's problems in other countries already, in regards to knowledge they're doing. T-Comes big up in regards to this particular third country national situation. There's just too much red flags, ladies and gentlemen, and the government should totally back out of this agreement. The only thing that makes sense to me why they would not be able to back out of this agreement is if persons are, legally compromised, meaning they potentially could lose their visa or go to jail, or both. You understand? So, it takes me back, ladies and gentlemen, to the prophecy from the man of God, Apostle Jeffrey Shuttleworth, of external forces. You understand? I think we're going to see, what the prophecy says is that we're going to see politicians here in Jamaica forced to resign. And some of them will be locked up. They will be publicly put in handcuffs, disgraced. You understand what I deal with? Because of external forces. There's going to be external forces, right? And there's a new video from the man of God. Let me just add it into here. Let me see what he's talking about.
If the church pulls the support from government, when they're talking their nonsense about separation of church and say, if the church were to pull her support from the political system, governance structure, it will collapse. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. That is the power that the church has. But of course, they have ensured that they have taken over a number of the leaders, brainwash them, right, and hook them in their jaws with money and other things. A number of them have found themselves in compromised situations, so they can't speak up and speak out, but you better speak up and speak out, because this matter of removing checks from the financial system, thereby you will no longer be able to use it. It will be a death knell for many institutions, including the church, and also it will affect all of us negatively, because it means joblessness. Many businesses would have to cease to exist, etc., etc. And the reason they are doing this is that they want Jamaica to go cashless. But might I say to those emissaries of Satan, it is not going to work. You will go so far and no further. And one of the reasons you are able to reach thus far in your diabolical plots and plans is that there are too many born-again believers, so-called born-again believers, who are compromised. That's it. That's number one. And too many of them too are ignorant. Ignorant meaning lack knowledge. They don't have a clue as to what is happening and what is up ahead. But we, the people of God, the remnant, will continue to sound the alarm. We will continue to warn and then leave the rest, so that the chips will fall where they may. But I can say, in the final analysis, Jamaica will not capitulate to the beast. The Lord will, if we fail to do what we are supposed to do as the remnant, we will suffer dire consequences, just like he did in the said month of Tammuz with the spies. 10 lying spies, corrupt spies, who came with erroneous and deliberate stories to obfuscate and to mislead. And there were 2. What did God do? The whole generation of them he allowed to die out, and a new generation rise up. Israel was still delivered and is still being delivered today. Similarly in Jamaica, and hear this and hear this well, Jamaica will not capitulate to the beast. However, if we do not do what we are supposed to do, the Lord will cause this generation that refuse to do what he has called to just die out, however long that's going to take, and raise up a new generation that will do his bidding. Same, and read the Bible. Consistently it has been like that. The reason we are having so many of the problems we're having in Jamaica is that each time God raised up a remnant, the remnant falls short because of corruption. We allow persons to infiltrate and so on, and shift the focus. That is why there have been so many stops and starts. But I thank God for the current remnant scattered across this nation in almost every different area. And they are there. And as long as we continue, which I know, we will continue to do his bidding. This island of Jamaica not going to be perfect. There is nowhere on earth that is going to be perfect. So don't get it twisted. But the Lord will be facilitating by his hand, as we pray the process through and do his bidding, the new Jamaica, which will spring forth bar before 2027, where for the first time, this island of Jamaica will be led by a righteous prime minister, supported by righteous members of parliament, righteous members of the municipal authorities, righteous leaders in the various sectors and segments. And where they are not saved, they will have at the very least a modicum of the fear of God. We're going to see that happening. And then if the church pulls the support from government, when they're talking their nonsense about separation of church and state, if the church were to pull.
So this is the newest release from the man of God. And I hear him repeat the prophecy about by or before year 2027. You'll see a new leader. Jamaica has to turn. There's no option. Can you imagine God repeating things that he did in the past to wipe out this generation because they are not doing his bidding and they have failed? However long that takes, and rise up a new generation that will do his bidding. Can't ramp with God, Jamaica, man, I tell you. God don't really run you up.
This is a serious matter. And it is also telling us that Jamaica is in a mess. We are between the devil and the deep blue sea, between a rock and a hard place.
What's up,
And it is
Carl?
all
Antonio.
because leaders have decided to do what they feel like doing. Huh? Without consulting the people. And most importantly, consulting God. So the chickens are now coming home to roost. And there are more demands. Notice the list that is published, and there is more. There are more demands to come. The screws are being tightened. The screws are being tightened. And where demands are made and those demands are not acceded to, there are other consequences, both to leaders involved.
Please get the lights up, guys.
And also the nation. This is not a pretty situation. It was prophesied. And so we need to pray like we have never prayed before, because it will impact every aspect and facet of living. It's going to impact travel in terms of who gets visa and whose visa will be revoked and all sorts of stuff. And it's more than visa, but I'm just using it because everybody who likes to travel, and it's almost like the visa is end all and be all and end all. Well, a number of persons are going to be impacted, including those in top leadership, as the screws are tightened and certain demands are going to be made. It's going to have implication also for aid. We already are suffering in terms of handling the growing crisis, real food, medicine, and other things. Agricultural inputs and other forms of input, raw materials. So when the screws are tightened, how are we going to manage? It is going to be reflected in the pharmacies, reflected in the hospitals, reflected in the supermarket, reflected in the wholesale, reflected in the service industries and so on. Let me drop another big one in. Tourism. It's going to impact tourism. There could also be increased tariffs. And that one is a killer as well. Import, export. So this is where things are going, friends. And so I repeat for the umpteenth time.
Andrew, big up, bro.
3 consecutive days of national mourning, fasting, prayer, and repentance, or else the screws are going to be tightened and tightened and tightened. And guess what? Those of you who are in construction, you know what happens. Something is going to break, and it's not just one thing, right? A number of things break when you over tighten screws, and especially when you're talking about screws, big screws that are holding different things together. Sometimes the screw busts up, but more often than not, it's that which, because of tension, so whole part of a system rupture because it can't move. Systems are shut down. Persons are being squeezed in different ways. So that's the direction in which we are going. And I'm speaking prophetically. And so I use the opportunity to call on the nation of Jamaica, because through the leaders, obviously they are not in a position to lead the season of repentance, fasting, and prayer. But they can call it. And then the Lord will give instruction to who are the person who will guide that most sacred
why my computer so hot?
process, so that he now can step in and reset things over Jamaica, reset things Jamaican partners. And one of the things I haven't even mentioned, and that's for another story, is the impact that it is going to have on the relationship with the dragon. Because remember now, billions of dollars have been involved in terms of different agreements with the dragon. And as the screws are tight, remember, according to the Monroe Doctrine, the Caribbean Basin, comprising Jamaica, is the United States backyard. And they have said that they will not tolerate anyone else operating in their backyard, taking it over. So it is going to impact also relationship with the dragon. How are we going to handle that as well? When we have been cozying up in bed with the dragon for these years. And everywhere you look around us, the footprints, the fingerprints, the kisses, etc. of the dragon are all around. We're in for some interesting times, friends. No matter what they tell you, this is a serious matter. And it is also telling us that Jamaica is in a mess. We're between the devil and the deep blue sea, between a rock and a hard place. And it's all because leaders have this.
I rest my case on that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, it's not going to be pretty. You know, this government continue to not listen to the warnings from the throne room of heaven, and so they have brought judgment down on the nation because of the deals that they have signed behind closed doors, documents that they have signed, things that they have agreed to, that is letting in the beast to take over Jamaica. And the churches, as you hear him say, they are complicit, many of them. They are quiet. They are, some of them are blind, ignorant, they're under spell, as they have entertained the devil. They have entertained the devil in their house, and the devil has been at the head of the house. They are no longer operating with God's will. You know, they have now become the synagogue of Satan, and are deceiving their following. Very, very sad. Very, very sad situation. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Moving right along. Oh wow, did I just turn my camera off? Sure did. And it's funny, you know, I put out a video earlier about the dragon. And the dragon kisses, as the man of God said. In regards to, you know, what is actually going on in the country. Very interesting. There's some fresh news that has come out on TVJ that I would love to explore. Let me see, TVJ. I saw two of them that was released about 2 hours ago. Everybody I watch football. Well, not me. Not me. Where is it? Kellett's market fix coming, vendors selling in the streets and causing such and such. Tribute poor, that's all sports. Tivoli Garden FC, that's sports again. Alright, we went through those already. Tension over proposed infant school, I went through that news already. Alright, so these two right here. This one and this one. Let's look at it.
And we will have much more on Coach Stephen Francis later in Primetime Sports. No criminal records. That emphasis from the Prime Minister this evening on the status of third country nationals that may arrive in Jamaica from the United States. While speaking during a tour of the Bangladesh Island Center yesterday.
No bullshit, bro.
Dr. Andrew Holness argued that any individual entering the country with a criminal record would be in breach of the MOU between the Jamaican government and the Trump administration.
Before we go to Andrew, listen to me. The people we are football fanatics, so we need to calm down. We just look at one article right there, so Brazilian fan lose car loan, money in bet. Why would you bet your car loan money? First of all, just stop gambling. Second of all, if you are going to gamble, have some principles. You do not gamble your house rental money. You do not gamble your car rental money. You have now crossed over the threshold of an addict and you need Jesus. Quickly. This is madness. Your car loan money? You mean the car where you drive? We have to pay money for? You mean the car where you drive where if they take your points then you can't drive the car? The way you never move with these new rules? Come on, man. Stop it. I mean, nobody feel like they're lying there telling them. Look at the story in the Star. 3 hours ago. A die-hard Brazilian supporter who says he's living paycheck to paycheck is hoping his bank will be lenient after he gambled part of his car loan money. So now the bank are going to take away your money. Mighty God. Celine, how you doing? You look like you write something bad. You said good afternoon, Perry. You look like you watch me and Perry same time. You Celine. Celine, you copy and paste. Already type a machine. Let's continue. Brazilian fans and all our football fans them. Don't do it, yeah? Don't do it.
Are the Lions says this morning.
For weeks, the abbreviations at the center of political discussions or arguments haven't been JLP or PNP. Instead, it's TCN, Third Country Nationals. One of the biggest concerns, criminals with no ties to Jamaica entering the island and putting citizens in danger. But Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness assures that based on agreements, there's absolutely no plan for criminals to be on the passenger list.
Which we will check and they will check. And if there is any such person to come in, it immediately voids the MOU. So even though we have an understanding, we have not yet worked out how it is going to work. We have the broad understanding, no criminals.
Dr. Holness reiterated an argument already made by National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang. That is, the third country nationals will not be staying in the island permanently.
And they're not coming here to live. This is a point that needs to be made. They are coming here in transit to their home country. And that's one of the reasons why we have been asked to facilitate and support, because the idea is to get them into a country where they can get connections to their country easily without
But Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness assures that based on agreements, there's absolutely no plan for criminals to be on the passenger list.
Which we will check and they will check. And if there is any such person to come in, it immediately voids the MOU. So even though we have an understanding, we have not yet worked out how it is going to work. We have the broad understanding, no criminals.
Dr. Holness reiterated an argument already made by National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang. That is, the third country nationals will not be staying in the island permanently.
And they're not coming here to live. This is a point that needs to be made. They are coming here in transit to their home country. And that's one of the reasons why we have been asked to facilitate and support, because the idea is to get them into a country where they can get connections to their country easily without having to go back to the United States.
In 2025, Jamaica recorded fewer than 700 murders, the first time in...
Jamaica, that makes sense too. Vigilant, big up. That makes sense too. Jamaica are the best transit point for them to have a better connection to their country. Why? Why them not just send them straight? No, the people that take for idiot for you now. Andrew always take for idiot. Thank you, Janice. He takes us for an idiot. Him just says stuff, and because you have people die-hearted and dunce, them not listen with critical thinking. Why the United States don't send them directly to them blurred north yard? Why Jamaica have to take up for itself to be one transit point, as them say? And why, when them are transit, why them have the option to stay in Jamaica? Listen, I don't business if them are criminal or not. We can argue that all day. I don't think they can even tell us definitively if they are not criminal or not. Why you don't send them straight to them blurred north yard? How about that? Send them straight to the yard. Don't send them come here. And it never helped when Rubio said them sending the most despicable persons. It never helped. It never helped none at all. You understand? What go on, mama?
What's up?
Good day, man. Hold on there, babes. Hold on there. Don't move on, Muslim. Let me put you on the TikTok, on the YouTube or something. I understand. So there are them people that can't hear it. And everybody can hear it. People on this side that can't hear us still. The one them on TikTok, on YouTube now they hear us well at all. Because and Jonas get their message in because I'm not going too bad, I'm not in government. Alright? Alright, so yes, here it is. Move that. Alright, it's good now. Go ahead, my darling. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to tell Andrew Willis say anytime Cooper start go a man to go make you come back and tell me the bullshit we might talk about time stinking about.
When what?
Anytime Cooper starts land a man to go be because if a transit, anytime Cooper start land a man to go be you can come back with the bullshit we might tell me. You understand what I say?
Yes. Mighty God. Yes.
So when they start you can come back and tell me rubbish. Because why them have to come to Jamaica so much, but them have to go and black up for them near waist so.
Miss
The big news man, they take people for either to come out, come make when how much money collect for the people then.
Yes. I don't know Rasta. And the weirdest thing.
Hey, we say, yo, I talked to one of my friends yesterday, see? She leave her right, you know, here now. Send me one stop, I say, hey, I don't want you send me up with a lion party. I say, oh, no, they lift down and no blind. Just fall. I said, look here. I said, well, listen, what restaurants say. You are now, they never say, the people them are going, them say nobody now come to Jamaica. I say, hey, girl, just lift up off of this, you know. I'm going to educate yourself and come back, you know.
So she has said them never say, nobody a come to Jamaica?
Yeah. So I say, 5 line them tell. I say, go find them and listen them. Because I don't want to waste my time and send them to you, you know. I say, 5 different stories them come up with.
Sometimes I just want to drink water and mind my business, cause may I tell you, them are foolish to say where them are people are going with it even make no sense. This DCN thing I really get out of hand.
Because why them have to come to Jamaica for go Mexico and go El
Yeah, just take a straight flight.
Exactly.
Just take a straight flight. We don't need.
When Jamaica don't stop over.
Yeah, we don't need to involve. We don't need to involve in that, brother. Take a straight flight, brother. See me? Simple as that. Argument done. And then you see, what them cannot evade, you know, is the other legal battles them we are going in other countries over the same thing. It makes Jamaica government to compromise and erase more questions like, bro, if you don't see what going with the other country, them on the TCN deal, we want to try to tell you, say, phone deal so unique and the foolproof. Oh, so you are going to check. You are going to check if you say, all right, to make sure say this a person here is not a criminal. And you expect me to believe say every single person will come through. That is true for? Come on, bro. Stop it. Remember, so the people when them stop at the border, you know. Them people are dash with them papers, you know. They can't identify them. Identify what?
Them can't identify the real criminals in Jamaica, much less to identify the one them from overseas.
My God. My God.
If they're gonna identify the real criminals, innocent people wouldn't have died in it.
Yes. That's a real talk, you know.
Okay.
That's a real talk. That's real talk right there, man. But, you know, I got on time, Mr. Still, you know.
Listen, Bolo, the money is so sweet that they're not even going to look at the personal background.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah.
They're going to let them go down with like a beast.
Me listen one lady on Perry show. Three of them at least call. One of them call and said they know RG Mark's babysitter. And she alleged that RG Mark's babysitter is a illegal immigrant in the United States. That's one. And she also alleged that RG Mark's babysitter is her son is a bank robber. She also alleged that the RG Marks the cousin now, the alleged cousin now, called in for the show and said she a RG Marks cousin, and everything what the lady said about RG Marks before is true. And she said RG Marks allegedly got her way in life by evil means, whatever that means, never over witchcraft or whatever. Evil means. She also said that RG Marks is the one that signed the deal, the TCN deal. And both ladies said they're willing to go into the court and put their hand on the Bible and raise their right hand and swear on everything what they must say. So the lady, credit to Perry, Perry asked her, said, so miss, can you confirm if RG Marks company is the one where the money is going to go through? That a master what? What is him? What is him again? P Master. And the lady said yes. The lady said yes. And that's how the money I got through for this deal. And that was one of the questions that I was asking. And again, ladies and gentlemen, this is all alleged. And I'm saying Audrey Marks need to come to the, as a matter of fact, after I don't talk to you, I'm going to be going over the interview. I have not watched it yet with Audrey Marks from JIS. So I'm going to see what else she can go and talk about this TC and deal say, because I haven't watched it yet. So if you're all right, my baby, thank you. Thank you for your contribution and big up your nice clean self. All right. Hey.
When all of this nail done, that's why she move and they go big the nail because she want back.
Well, the lady them were called them carry it further, you know. Them say allegedly that Audrey was going to be locked up. So she signed a deal because she don't want to go to prison and she don't want to lose her visa. That is also part of the allegation. So this thing are really deep. Audrey, first time seeing you. Hold on there, mama. Audrey? Audrey? Hello? Audrey? Audrey no realize that she dey on the live, you know. Audrey na talk to somebody in the background. Lord Jesus. Audrey no realize that she dey on the live, Jamaica. Anyway, make we move on now. Make we move on, the ladies and gentlemen. Make we move on. Take off this off of my screen. Take off Andrew. Take off the TikTok. And put on back my Ray. And make we go to Miss Audrey Marks' interview. There's a few articles, man. Hold on. We're not done yet saying.
40 years, Dr. Holness indicated that the gains made by the Jamaica Constabulary Force will not be jeopardized. He sought to quell the fears of some Jamaicans.
I want to assure Jamaicans that the concerns that you have had, and I can understand why you would have the concerns, that they are false. And they make no sense really, because the government has invested heavily in reducing our crime and murder rate. Now we start to talk about Jamaica being the most peaceful country. Why would we go and do that?
He further pointed to the July 2026 revision by the U.S. State Department. Its travel advisor saw Jamaica moving from a level 3, which suggested that citizens reconsider their travel to the island, to a level 2, which now urges increased caution.
Jamaica is now rated as one of the most peaceful countries. You tell me, the people who are spreading these lies, can they ever claim to have ever been rated at level 2 and one of the most peaceful countries? Buildings going up, roads being constructed, our travel advisory being upgraded, and we are being rated as the most peaceful country. Those who come to you with lies and nonsense, tell them to go away. Go away.
Ramarda Lyons, TVJ News.
Hey, brother, you know what me know? Let me tell you what me know. This clip is going to be legendary when the truth comes out. Let me make sure put it in my file. You see that clip here? Where am I going and a hype up himself? It's going to be legendary when the truth comes out. Oh my God. It's going to be legendary, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to, I'm putting it in my evidence file. It is going to be legendary when the truth comes out. You remember good putting on a show for the people. You go on.
Farmers in North Clarendon are starting to feel the effects of the ongoing dry spell. They are spending thousands of dollars weekly to source water to keep their farms from failing. Details from Dwayne Anderson.
Green vegetables fill this field. Nearby on a yam farm, green vines snake around sticks. signs of the bountiful harvest to come. But this foliage does not tell the truth about what farmers here are experiencing.
The weather rough pan we up here, rough. When we say rough, we don't have no water at all. Everything abundant right now. I want some sweet potato around there right now, around my bush. Right now, we're no good. Everything just a dry down.
The only reason their crops have not yet withered up and died is because of their expensive sacrifices.
Sometimes we use the pump, sometimes we use the spray pan, throw the spray in the water in the spray pan and wet it. And it can't work out. Right now, me about 2 beds of pops or sucker right now. And none of them can plant for no water.
A big gas me buy the farming. Big gas. Every day get a certain amount of gas every day. For just to do the farming. See one woman who do farming there. Almost every day that the woman have to buy gas. For wetting ground.
These farmers can't help but wonder if their well is being tested. It is dry now, but just months ago, too much water and the hurricane destroyed everything, something they have not yet recovered from.
The hurricane come, and me have me yam blow down, sweet potato, corn, string bean all out, and all down.
And we don't see a man,
no, I don't get not even a dollar. Me hungry here say this, that, and nothing.
So Floyd Green, walk one. Because on enough compound debate speech the man make grand announcement about everything that the government is doing. I'm telling you say context matter, you know. How much people need help and how much people get help. That is how you measure the performance of the government. If you help 60,000 people when 10 million need help, urgent help, and out of the 10 million, 4 million of them are the most vulnerable, and you only end up to help 60,000 people. How can you count that as a success? Humble yourself. Humble yourself. But this government is arrogant, and they use small achievements and magnify them to try and come back at social media. Because now we realize that the Prime Minister and his government, they don't like nobody, whether social media, the Integrity Commission, anything at all that questions them. They don't like to be questioned. They want you to blindly follow them. They like blind followers. You know me know about blind followers? Some of them, enough of them walk to the end death, because them never want to listen to the voice of God. If you know say them people are some charlatan when them listen to. Like Jim Jones? My mother say like Jim Jones. Don't be a puppet, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be a sheep for the devil, but be a sheep for God. Because God now. Do not be a sheep for the devil. No found even. Hey, me don't know. Hey, man, mentality kind of weird, Me said the way how someone don't follow Andrew and so no follow God say, God no please, God no please. The way how someone Andrew can't do no wrong. Only thing say God please. I only can't stay there, man. You better go repent. You know, look good, brother.
They are suggesting their representatives get more creative and tap into the natural water resources nearby and take the water closer to them.
You have a stream from up there come right down here. And guess what now? The stream we are run, we can't get no source of water from it.
Dwayne Anderson, TVJ News.
Cattle farmers in St. Elizabeth are appealing to the authorities to urgently tag their animals to minimize predial larceny. This follows a series of incidents which include the theft of about 60 goats. Details from Karen Simpson.
The community of Gilnock in Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth has been shaken after thieves struck in the early hours of Sunday morning. Birth certificate.
So Jamaica, one labor right jump out at the one labor right jump out Because that one they hurt their soul, you know. So when they talk the truth about Andrew, listen to that idiot commenter. So God pleased with me following Mark Bolo. The last time me checked, the men and women of God warned this country against voting for the JLP. But the men and women of God endorsed the PMP. So what you are talking about? Come good again, man. You know, come good again, because we have the evidence now, we have the video them, you know. Ask some better question than that. Because it must be a rhetorical question. Yes, why that's why they celebrate them fully done, man. Why, man, I tell you, just prove the people them right all the while with them idiot. Come on from a page. With them idiot commenter. The men and women of God have endorsed the People's National Party. They might not be with us, you know. All of them know 100% safe, but them have a greater fear of God. The Jamaica Labour Party is a cult. A beer over them walk over there. And everybody know. Even though halfway through when they keep this beer candle upon table and blood and all type of stuff. Now what do you think so and legalize over in our country? You know so much over man. Which over man they on the internet we are saying them are walk over for People's National Party. Please come and tell me. Have you ever heard Andrew Holness denounce any of these older men and say they don't represent the Jamaica Labour Party? Never. Just like him never denounced one bro God. He never denounced the name. He also call him wife Mrs. Bro God. And we have the clip for that too. Yes, I found it. I have an audio somewhere there in my files. Mrs. Bro God. I mean, I say, queer upon big old platform. So not only did he take on the name of God to mimic God and you think so God please about them something there? Common G or any G at all. You think so God please about those things? God is a jealous God. All we call Mark Golden is Marky G. We don't call him God. And if you notice in the People's National Party, a lot of people openly criticize Mark Golding. Do you see him coming out and gnashing his teeth like an animal, like a reptilian? When persons criticize him, he's very calm. He responds in a very mature way and he takes constructive criticism. And if he needs to educate persons on the things that they seem to lack the understanding about, he humbly does that. He's not an arrogant person. And that's why I rate Marky G. There's a whole heap of things why I rate Marky G. I observe people's character very, very detailedly. Yeah, and understand, and all we do is pray that Mark Golding does not turn to the dark order and stays in the light and stay on the side of righteousness. We pray because man is, you know, we're weak. The flesh is weak. You understand? But I think Mark Golding is grounded enough. He's in the way he grew up with his parents and all of those things. Yeah, I think he's grounded enough. And if it is the will of God for Mark Golding to lead Jamaica into an errant chapter where God's purpose for this land is elevated, nobody can stop it. Nobody can stop it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you. And if you look at the things them that Mark Golding government was endorsing in their manifesto, even the churches were going to see massive benefit in our real way. Right? The People's National Party always incorporate the church them to help with crime and violence and just the nature and structure of the society. They get it. They actually get it. You can clearly see who is endorsing the devil and who is endorsing God. Straight. Big up yourself, Miss Birdie. The word is love. Out of order. Come here talking about Marky G. Marky G, are going good here? Yes.
Certificates and passports serve as a reminder of ownership for frustrated cattle farmer Dennis Roberts.
Last night about 7:30, I come on. water these cows right across there, and this morning we get a call that them started them right on the roadside here. So. Two of them just buy these cows about 2 months to 3 months ago for 120,000 each from Wellington Farm, and this is what happened. So these cows just value about 300,000. Both of them right now.
A 5 then take from me, same place both. Kill 2 over there, kill 1 over there, so, and then move 4 from here, so go over night church, go load.
Not so much good.
And plus over 60 goat, you know.
Mr. Roberts laments that theft is not the only issue he has to contend with.
And right now, we have other cows right now, we can't even sell them because we can't get them tag over how much, over here and add now, no tag. We cannot sell the cow them, but they thief them, a thief the animal, and a butcher them and sell it. And the farmer can't sell for them cow. You calculate that and tell me how it helps.
But I'm not sure working because they're not taking the hand and gone with them.
And the meat sells here.
And the meat sells here.
And so they are pleading to the authorities to intervene.
Me lose over 300,000 just one night. See? And right now we have cow over there now, and you can't get them tag over how much months now. So what is going to happen? What is happening in Jamaica? What we need to do? Somebody needs to come out and assist we. We don't have no representative. People just get up and work hard and no help.
Since late 2025, the Agriculture Ministry was pushing to clear a backlog in the tagging of animals. The ministry's central database office was affected by Hurricane Melissa. At the time, the ministry said there were adequate supplies of tags to support cattle farmers. Karine Simpson, TVJ News.
So 9 months after the storm, they still can't find enough tags. And that them I try to tell you, say Jamaica, man I lose 300,000 in a one night. And I not even 300,000 you lose, you know, because you losing potential profit as well. Because you invest money to make money. So really and truly when you check it, you can't say you lose $700,000. Yeah, double the money. 600,000 minimum you lose because of that. Hey, me I tell you, you know, Andrew, let's not realize, I don't know if you realize it, you know, but if God word now go void, you know, brother. God had turned the people against him, you know. The farmer them, the taxi man them, the teacher them, the nurse them, also my politician them when they in a party are turned against him too. And every day, bucket down well the bottom drop out here. You see when this bottom drop out, the way of Jamaica peaceful. We not go, hey, I'm telling you something, you see, I don't want it to happen, you know. But if I saw it, I go for Jamaica free up. May I tell you, anyway, I go for Jamaica free up, I just say it up. But I don't want it to happen, I not tell no lie. I don't want this country spiral into violence, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot tell you a lie. It is not my desire to see that happen to our beautiful country of Jamaica. But when you look back at the history of oppression in this country, and you know how, watch out. Oh, because I'm not entertain what's in there. B is alright, but not was. When you look at how the history of Jamaica oppression and how that oppression was fought against, there's an energy in Jamaica of rebellion. And there were parts in our history where it was justified rebellion, where the oppressors had to be taken down. Literally. So what is going on? What going on, DK? What is going on with the government and farmers? You know, I think we need to really focus on things, you know, because there's a hidden hand, you know, that is working in Jamaica, you know. And this is where a person say, oh, you know, that is conspiracy theory. All right, go on blind on the eye if you not see what go on. But tell you already, you know, from certain people visit Jamaica in the pandemic. We don't notice the direction of Jamaica going on. There's a global agenda that certain persons are tied to, that have linked with this government. Huh? There's a global agenda that is happening. And just look around the world what's happening to other farmers. If you never look what going on in Europe in the last 4 months, farmers have protest like crazy. I have manure and a spray that upon government building. Farmers land. It's like them have forced them to try to take for them land. You know what them want to? They want to put in them land there. They want to put AI, what do you call it? AI farms, not AI farms, but something like that. AI plants or something like that, AI technology. So they want to replace the farmer them land to put them type of building there. We can't explain it so good. Thank you, woman of God. We can't explain it so good right now. I don't remember the right terminology. But these are things that I peruse from time to time that's going on around the globe. And it's happening in more. I read an article one day on this platform. There's a 89 or 88-year-old farmer, and he refused to sell his farmland for that same purpose of them building something for AI. No man, GMO foods is another thing, man. I'm telling you. They might use the farm them. They want them big land there for the AI farm. Something like AI farm. And you see this AI technology thing? You see water? Why you think, yo, you know how long me I listen to them something from some man when know the thing, yo, you see the big wigs them? Like, when them name, oh my God, jeez and peace, but them better than him again, man. The Rockefellers and them people, you know, say years now, them a buy up water rights all over the world. The rights to water. Why you think China want the land them at Jamaica and I get the land them at Jamaica where the most water flow through? The man them listen, the man a long game, the man them a play no? The man them a play long game Jamaica. Chess. We not even understand the board. Right now we need to dip on the board where the man them a play on. It's all about power and where the world is going. So the man them strategically have put themselves in a one place where them are going to have the most advantage. We as regular people in the world are expendables. Them no look power, them no have no respect for our lives. Amen, somebody? That's why we have to have God in our side and in our corner to be our protector and shield against these evil individuals and organizations and countries. Let me move on, yeah? Let me move on. Why am I telling you, man? You know, I not read the article, I wait till later. All of the article, I wait till later. I go to I go to the lady because I'm strapped for time. I only have half an hour left.
Another ministerial update here on the GIS. Today we're speaking with Ambassador Audrey Marks. She is the Minister with responsibility for efficiency, innovation and digital transformation in the Office of the Prime Minister. Recent media reports have suggested that she made a proposal to the US government about a third country national program, which is the subject of a memorandum of understanding with the US government. She joins us now to answer some of the concerns raised in the public domain. Ambassador Marks, thank you for joining us. Firstly, why have you decided to speak out on this issue?
Well, as you know, and I've been hearing that I've not addressed this matter earlier, how the government works is that the line ministers and the information minister would respond to issues of national importance. So if you notice, it will have been the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of National Security and Peace and the Minister of National Security and Peace and the information minister. They would deal with any matter of national importance in addressing the nation. And that's the process that started and got to a certain point. I was away last week, but when I came back, I realized that the country was being flooded with misinformation. And a lot of it was centered on a misunderstanding where it was being said that I made a proposal for 10,000 criminals to come into Jamaica. So it was very important for me to start speaking about it and clarify exactly what the MOU is about and what my proposal is about.
I mean, you just mentioned it just now that you've seen and you've been reading some of the comments online. What would you say is the biggest misunderstanding that you don't want the public to get the truth to?
The biggest misunderstanding is that we have signed an MOU that allows criminals, rapists, murderers to come into the country. Now, a popular video going around speaks about Secretary Rubio saying they are going to send third country nationals with criminal records, all their rapists and murderers, etc., to other countries. And that is a video that seems to be driving the narrative. But
cartoons. Hey, me say sometime me hate advertisement, just man. How them for do me that? No. I'm glad she talk about this video. I really want to hear what she saying. Go back a little bit.
With criminal records, all their rapists and murderers, etc., to other countries. And that is a video that seems to be driving the narrative. But this entire conversation started on June 16th, I believe, when the Gleaner published an article that said Jamaica has signed the third country nationals MOU with the United States. The MOU was leaked to the Gleaner, so it detailed all the information in the MOU. They could have just as well just print the MOU. The information.
Ladies and gentlemen, a key thing that we have to hear and understand here is that she's saying that the MOU that was leaked to the Gleaner is verifiable. She said the MOU was leaked to the Gleaner, so the Gleaner did not put out any misinformation. Hello, somebody? Let's continue. Let's play that again.
The third country nationals MOU with the United States. The MOU was leaked to the Gleaner, so it detailed all the information in the MOU. They could have just as well just print the MOU. The information that is in the MOU and what was printed in the Gleaner spoke specifically of Jamaica not admitting serious criminals. So let me now go to what was printed in the Gleaner and is actually what was agreed by the government of Jamaica. So it is in the public domain. It says, the transfer of TCNs, third country nationals, will be suspended if more than 10 persons apply to remain in Jamaica. The MOU speaks to the USA providing biological, medical, and criminal documentation to the extent available.
That is a key part of it. To the extent available. And now that goes back to what the lawyer said on Colin Bell's show. They can't really get all the information on these people because of the nature in which they went to the country illegally. And they cannot go to the country and ask them, take fingerprint and ask them for information about the persons. So it goes back to, and this is why you must listen with a critical ear, you know. It goes back to the uncertainty, the unknown. They cannot know if these people are criminals, Jamaican. They cannot 100% know. Listen to what she said again.
In Jamaica. The MOU speaks to the USA providing biological, medical, and criminal documentation to the extent available.
To the extent available. That is golden, ladies and gentlemen. To the extent available. We're going to continue. We just want to know. Make sure someone mark that, you know. Mark that.
Logical, medical, and criminal documentation to the extent available. And also that Jamaica will evaluate each TCN prior to a decision to transfer that individual to Jamaica. It also specifically states that Jamaica will limit any transfer to only adults who have not been convicted of serious criminal offenses. And I say serious because they would have a criminal offense already. That is immigration violation.
So Jamaica, want to hear that? These individuals would have a criminal offense already. So in essence, who they're sending here, the reason why they're deporting them is the fact that they're a criminal. Can somebody say amen? Can somebody say amen? And I'm going back to the unknown. They can't know the extent of their criminality in their country. Them cannot know the fullness because when them go through the border, them dash them paper more than likely. Yeah, tell them something if you listening, or if you listen what them people are saying, because they tell upon themselves, you know. This is not a win for the Jamaica Labour Party in terms of governance. They shouldn't even entertain this deal none at all, because legally they should understand that these people, you don't know. You just don't know. Leave it alone. Why they engage with this foolishness? You know why them doing it? Because they are compromised. Chop up them card, pun intended. Enough of them in all type of thing, and them know them have them file, so them can't tell them no. That is the reason they are compromised. They are politically exposed persons. They are peps.
Many of us, we know they would have a criminal offense already. That is immigration violation. And many of us, we know many relatives who went to the USA, run off or overstay. If they are caught, that's a criminal violation in terms of immigration violation. But serious criminal violations would be like rapes, murders, all the things that
Rubio said. All the things that Rubio described. Why would Rubio come out here and tell us that, you know, such and this and that, all that he said? Why you think Jamaica is frantic? Why you think that Jamaica is alarmed? People are making it look like the people do not have any good reason to be concerned. They have a lot of good reason to be concerned. And when I have to appreciate Colin Bell bringing on the lawyer, and now I have learned, and it has opened my mind to the legal fray of things where really and truly the Jamaican government cannot be 100% sure of the status legally, the criminal status of these people that they are sending here. They are not sure, Jamaica. And if they tell you they are lying, because even R.J. Marks said it, to the extent that it is available. Let me go back to that part.
Medical and MOUs be suspended if more than 10 persons apply to remain in Jamaica. The MOU speaks to the USA providing biological, medical, and criminal documentation to the extent available.
Bingo!
And also that Jamaica will evaluate each TCN prior to a decision to transfer that individual to Jamaica. It also specifically states that Jamaica will limit any transfer to only adults who have not been convicted of serious criminal offenses. And I say serious because they would have a criminal offense already. That is immigration violation. And many of us, we know many relatives who went to the USA, run off or overstay. If they are caught, that's a criminal violation in terms of immigration violation. But serious criminal violations would be like rapes, murders, all the things that government is being accused of allowing into the country. That is specifically non-negotiable in the MOU. It also says that Jamaica retains full...
Jamaica. Again, I have to make the point. For her to say that it's non-negotiable, the negotiation has to do with the extent of the information that is given. There are too much unknowns. They cannot guarantee that these people are not criminals. I am going to burn that point in our mind. Don't make them trick you.
Discretion to decline to accept any individual for any reason, including health and for security purposes or any other basis. And it goes on to say other things, but it's important to note that this information is in the public domain. This was in the first article published by the Gleaner. Yet, because this was an orchestrated misinformation plan, the very same day and in the continuing days, what we have seen pushed from various bloggers, YouTubers, all kinds of persons, third country nationals, MOU with the United States to take criminals into Jamaica. That is not so. And that's the first thing we must clarify and put an end to.
You've said, though, that you did in fact make a proposal to the US government about a skills program that...
So, Audrey Marks, you said them a criminal, but now you say them are not criminal. Make up your mind. You just said them a criminal, but they are not. They don't have major criminal offenses behind them name. They are still criminal. Criminal are criminal, not true? Or no, them are not deportees neither. They're technically not deportees. You see, this is the thing that they do, you know. I would not allow them to get away with it, you know. If Marco Rubio never say when say, people wouldn't dare say, oh, now bring back rapists and all of them people. Because the man specifically talk about these people when they are sent to other countries. It's not our fault talking about orchestrated. Orchestrated in the backside. People have them brain for themselves, you're out of order. People is looking at the internet and looking at the information and going, what? What the hell is going on? And I know I asked a myriad of questions on my platform because I was like, what? What is going on here? Who is benefiting? Where is the money going? Who is getting the money?
has now been conflated with this third country national program. Let's start with your proposal. How did that come about?
Back in 2024, when the Republican Party, President Trump, when he was campaigning and they're having their convention, they put a major focus on the migration policy in the United States. And they committed that there will be a drastic change. This was concretized later on in the America First policy document. And when you read that, it clearly shows that there will be mass deportations. In fact, not even a person whose parents born in another country and the child is born in the United States, even that would be questioned. So it's a massive relook, a significant and material relook at America's migrant policy and immigration policy, so to speak. So in my role as ambassador, the first thing that I must do whenever there's any policy changes going on in the United States, I must look at how that impacts Jamaica. And then I'm still an entrepreneur, so I also look at, is there an opportunity to minimize risk and challenges to Jamaica, but is there also an opportunity to see any benefit to Jamaica in whatever is happening? So that was my motivation to study it and to make sure I look at where can we minimize risk to Jamaica and also find opportunities.
So in that line, what exactly
changes going on in the United States, I must look at how that impacts Jamaica. And then I'm still an entrepreneur, so I also look at, is there an opportunity to minimize risk and challenges to Jamaica, but is there also an opportunity to see any benefit to Jamaica in whatever is happening? So that was my motivation to study it and to make sure I look at where can we minimize risk to Jamaica and also find opportunities.
So in that line, what exactly were you proposing?
So I came up with my team at the embassy, we came up with a proposal where we could cooperate. And the first area would be on expanding the amount of Jamaican seasonal workers. Right now the cap is about 20,000 and we'll be proposing more like 200,000. And so my thinking was, how do we get ahead of this situation and propose to the US that we can help? We can help because we have an established legal system of bringing workers into the country. And so that was the first proposal. The second is that when you look at the figures, it will break out that 8.5 million of the undocumented migrants in the United States are highly skilled. And we know that in Jamaica, we are having a situation where we have lost over 1.3 million Jamaicans who have migrated, many highly skilled. They are trained teachers, nurses, doctors, scientists. They have better opportunities in the United States, and for the last 40 years, they have been migrating. So we have gone through our own brain drain. My thinking at the time, how can we utilize the situation to attract more skilled workers into Jamaica? Because we are hearing the complaints across all industries that we are short of skilled labor in some areas.
And so what would have been involved in the program that you were?
And so what I'm saying is for the economy to grow, we have to face the population problem and in my Republican Party, President Trump, when he was campaigning and they're having their convention, they put a major focus on the migration policy in the United States. And they committed that there will be a drastic change. This was concretized later on in the America First policy document. And when you read that, it clearly shows that there will be mass deportations. In fact, not even a person whose parents born in another country and the child is born in the United States, even that would be questioned. So it's a massive relook, a significant and material relook at America's migrant policy and immigration policy, so to speak. So in my role as ambassador, the first thing that I must do whenever there's any policy changes going on in the United States, I must look at how that impacts Jamaica. And then I'm still an entrepreneur, so I also look at, is there an opportunity to minimize risk and challenges to Jamaica? But is there also an opportunity to see any benefit to Jamaica in whatever is?
So, Ms. Audrey Marks, you're an entrepreneur. So you are telling us that you weren't looking how you could make some money? You're looking at how Jamaica could benefit. All right, let's continue.
It's happening. So that was my motivation to study it and to make sure I look at where can we minimize risk to Jamaica and also find opportunities.
So in that line, what exactly were you proposing?
So I came up with my team at the embassy, we came up with a proposal where we could cooperate. And the first area would be on expanding the amount of Jamaican seasonal workers. Right now the cap is about 20,000 and we'll be proposing more like 200,000. And so my thinking was, how do we get ahead of this situation and propose to the US that we can help? We can help because we have an established legal system of bringing workers into the country. And so that was the first proposal. The second is that when you look at the figures, it will break out that 8.5 million of the undocumented migrants in the United States are highly skilled. And we know that in Jamaica, we are having a situation where we have lost over 1.3 million Jamaicans who have migrated, many highly skilled. They are trained teachers, nurses, doctors, scientists. They have better opportunities in the United States, and for the last 40 years, they have been migrating. So we have gone through our own brain drain. My thinking at the time, how can we utilize the situation to attract more skilled workers into Jamaica? Because we are hearing the complaints across all industries that we are short of skilled labor in some areas.
And so what would have been involved in the program that you were proposing?
And so what I'm saying is for the economy to grow, we have to face the population problem and the skills labor problem. However, we have 50,000 persons who are unemployed, and then we have maybe about another 50,000 or more underemployed. So we have to, so my thinking was, how do we balance that by making sure when we are bringing in persons into the country, we are also looking at ways that we will get Jamaicans employed and engaged in the economy. So it was a broad-based proposal, and we'll go through that. It has other areas in it. It had it also looked at how we could set up Jamaica as a location for large companies like Google, Amazon to get their H-1 visa workers settled in Jamaica, because that program is also going to be cut in the United States. And if we can become a near-shore destination for these large companies to put their employees here in Jamaica, it could also be very good for our economy. We also looked at things like the near-shore logistics hub for the region, and also security matters, trafficking of guns and drugs, how we could work better to deal with that. So is a comprehensive proposal. And in it, when we break out the area that deals with the skills worker migration, you'll be seeing that if we have 775 communities. If we even look at in terms of placement, because you want to make sure it's done in a way that integrates into the country, and say even 20 per community, you're looking at 15,500 persons coming in. And so I cannot just run it off at 10,000 because we couldn't start with a big number anyway. It's going to be a gradual program. I actually put in the document looked at a pilot of 1,000 persons to start the process.
So that was for that skilled workers program that you're speaking about. That's how that 10,000 figure came up?
That's how that came up. And that was from January 2025. That conversation started then. And the proposal was done about March 2025. So it's over a year ago. But when I came back to Jamaica in April 2025, we, I got busy setting up a new ministry, then election, and then Hurricane Melissa. While we were busy with our national priorities here, the U.S. was implementing the America's First policy document, which included changes in migration.
And on that point, to be clear, were you involved at all, or are you involved at all, or were you at any point involved in that TCN program that is now the subject of the MOU?
Oh, no, not at all. That would be the United States, the White House and the State Department. That's their program. And they've approached, I think now around between 27 and 28 countries have signed. Our neighbor here in the region, Belize, signed from about October. Many of our Caribbean countries have signed. I think Jamaica, Barbados, and Guyana are the last ones now negotiating. And another 54 countries, I know from the records that are in the public domain, they are in negotiations with. That's a clear United States policy, not anything at all to do with me. I could not dictate to the U.S. anything about their third country nationals program.
So you were not involved in that negotiation?
Right. So a year later, January 2nd, 2026, is when the United States Embassy here transmitted a request to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to start a discussion, read their request for Jamaica to sign the MOU to deal with third country nationals. It was the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, the Ministry of National Security and Peace, the Attorney General's Department, they all, and the Ministry of Justice, they all focused on making sure that Jamaica could sign the MOU, but in a manner that would not disturb what we are trying to achieve as a country.
Yeah. Is this skilled worker proposal that you had put forward still going to be implemented?
Oh, it still is, but we also need to deal with that misinformation. Because some of the questions I've noted, persons are saying, but this is what the embassy said, that Ambassador Marks proposed to take 10,000 criminals into the country, and the embassy would not be lying. I'm going to do some things that we don't normally do, because diplomatic notes, diplomatic agreements that are being discussed at a high level are not usually put in the public domain. It's like when WikiLeaks happen. You don't put out documents while you're in negotiations, or documents that are sensitive to bilateral and even multilateral relations. They have to be managed a certain way. But what I can do, I can read from the diplomatic note exactly what was requested. So the diplomatic note said that the United States has the further honor to advise and will request that a meeting to discuss the proposal by Minister Audrey Marks to XYZ during the America's Counter-Cartel Conference at the U.S. Southern Command in Miami, Florida on March 5th, 2026 for a third country national arrangement, not the MOU, that Jamaica receive up to 10,000 third country individuals from the United States. What they were doing, they were asking for a meeting to discuss the proposal. Now, I want to go further and people can Google it. You can Google what a third country national means. And it means an individual who is in a country that is not their home of citizenship. They are neither a citizen of the nation they are currently in, the host country, in this case, the United States, nor the nation that they would be going to. Depending on the context, this term applies in different ways. So, for example, in the European Union, they gave that as an example. If you are in the European Union working and you're from Canada or even England, you're referred to as a third country national. So a third country national don't mean that you're a criminal. It means that you're not from the country you're coming from, or you're not a citizen of the country you're going to.
It doesn't mean that you're a criminal, but it doesn't mean that you're not a criminal. Hello, somebody? May I make you talk, because we have put this bar record. I'm glad that you put this bar record. Very interesting.
So when the United States asks for a meeting to discuss the third country national arrangement, not MOU, of up to 10,000 individuals, there's nothing wrong with that. That is in keeping with our discussion and what I'm proposing, that we need skilled workers and we want to discuss it because it would involve an entire framework It would involve funding from the United States. It would involve a process because those persons that would be coming would be persons that are already working in the United States. They are being processed, they are being screened, they are working, they have applied for residency, I would assume some of them, but they would not be given residency in the United States under these current changing migration policies. So the idea that if we get a request from the United States for a meeting to discuss this proposal, it means that I had put some sort of proposal to have 10,000 persons of criminal conviction coming to Jamaica is total misinformation. And I dare say the people who are pushing this rumor knows better because they have a copy of the diplomatic note. They know what they're doing. So to put out that the MOU was signed and that the MOU...
RG Marks, you need to call name who have a diplomatic note. And I said misinformation out. No, she did a JIS, listen up. A JIS. So we have it almost finished, and then I'll give my final thoughts on it.
Involves Jamaica proposing to take 10,000, making it seem like there's 10,000 criminals, is total misinformation.
Speaking of the MOU, it has been said by the government that the MOU would have been released. It's not yet been released. Why? The
MOU is a document being negotiated, and you have the MOU, the terms of the MOU, how it will work. You don't normally release the document before you finalize the negotiations and the agreements. Because you have, in everything, you have the cover document, and then you have some appendix, some terms that will go with it. So how will it work? Who will be involved? For example, the International Migration Organization will be the point organization handling the transit of third country nationals from the United States through Jamaica. The other point regarding the misinformation, the MOU states that the person will be here for 7 days, maximum 14 days. So there's no flooding of third country nationals to Jamaica, and certainly again, no criminals.
What happens now?
With Base 44,
so what happens now is that it's part of what I'm doing. We have to push back very hard. We have to force persons to apologize and admit that they have told a lie. And we have to continue pushing back until more people understand that it's not everything you hear you can take up. They have come on my social media pages and others to say, you sell out the country, you are getting money to buy your business, all kinds of nonsense. Before coming back to Jamaica, I get so many offers to serve in international organizations, large companies. Up to January this year, I got an offer to be an executive at a high level. I'm not doing half the work I'm doing now. For a base of 2 million US per year. That's about what? 320 million Jamaican? I'm not here working for money. I'm here doing national service. And if you cut me, my blood is black, green, and gold. So if someone like me...
That's a bit of a stretch. Your blood is red, lady. Not black, green, and gold. She try to sell that to you, man. Let's continue.
Can be accused of selling out the country. Where are we going? This is not something that will displace Jamaicans, will take away jobs from Jamaicans. This is where we are doing a balancing. We are upskilling.
Miss, stop it. Please. If you are going to carry skilled workers, if indeed what you're saying is true, and you're going to carry skilled workers in the country, and your government is not actively upskilling the persons in the country to do, you guys are already taking away jobs from Jamaicans. The deals that you sign with the Chinese, 50% of the persons them that come here is Chinese that are working, plus the actual company that is getting the deal. They are getting the money from China, and the money going back to China. So not only are you guys taking away jobs from the Jamaicans, you're actually taking away money from Jamaica too, in so many ways that we see them have to pay about the interest upon the loan that is going to the Chinese company. So listen, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but they can't fool all the people all the time. And you mix truth with lies, and it's okay. It's all right. You know what I mean? To make yourself look good, it's all right. We get it. We can understand.
We're lifting, we're expanding the economy, more Jamaicans will be employed. We're looking at opportunities abroad to get Jamaicans more exposed and more skills, but we also need to address this fundamental constraint to our economic growth agenda.
All right, Ambassador, that's a solid note on which to end. Thank you so much for speaking.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Very interesting. So she's cleared herself from the third country national deal altogether. She's there to get skilled workers in the country, according to her. 200,000. And you notice that she talked about putting 2020 into every community. I wonder who those persons would have political allegiance to. Hello, somebody? Could this be gerrymandering at its finest on an international level? That is also something to consider. I'm just saying, if the government that is in play is the one that is going to carry in skilled workers, that is going to actually come here to work, have citizenship, could this play into elections, ladies and gentlemen? Could this affect elections moving forward? Hello, somebody? Because we look deep, you know. Yeah, man, we look deep. And it's hard for we look deep. That's why we ask these questions. You get what I say? Because we know the nature of the Jamaica Labour Party, you know. They have been trying it with Everald Warmington, Mr. Gerrymandering, and Mark Golding called them out on him. Them things so we born big because we humble. But we born big and we humble too. But we're not done. We're not done. So RG Marks, clear our name, ladies and gentlemen. RG Marks don't have nothing to do with the TCN, the third country nationals. It is being discussed. Nobody not come at Jamaica yet. And the statement made by Rubio exaggerated the situation and had people in panic. We were in panic, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't have any real reason to be in panic when Rubio said that they're sending the most despicable people to these countries because they want to get the worst, the scum out of their country. No, the Jamaica Labour Party, according to RG Marks and Andrew Wallace, has guaranteed that the individuals coming through the TCN, I hope you guys notice my sarcasm, the individuals coming through the TCM, according to them, hello somebody, are definitely not criminals. Well, they don't have any major criminal records on their name. Yes, they would be criminals because they would be deportees and they can no longer stay in the country. They say that one important note is that they will have their medical records, their criminal records, to the extent of possibility. Again, hello somebody. That is a great area. That is a great area. So, I am still against the TCNs vehemently. I don't believe them vehemently. I don't trust them vehemently. But this is what they have said. This is what they have said. So if we don't want to believe RG Marks and Andrew Wallace, go ahead. If you don't want to believe them, go ahead. Me not tell no if you believe. I don't believe them. I don't trust them. I don't trust them one bit. I don't. And when I look at the legal issues surrounding this TCM thing that has been going on, it makes sense for them to stay away from this completely until the dust settles. In terms of the legalities and the law, you know, all of that stuff that is going on surrounding this thing. And where's the STEM schools? Where's the STEM schools for them to upgrade the Jamaican brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen? Where are the STEM schools? We need the STEM schools. Right? The STEM schools should be there. They promised it. Where are the STEM schools? Has the STEM school program crashed? If you don't even have STEM schools, you know, because we need skilled workers. Come on, we need skilled workers. And you know, this issue with what's going on, Winifred, this issue with people in Jamaica that are not seeking any jobs. And most persons want to become an entrepreneur. Not entrepreneur, no, entrepreneur. Chopper as in chopper, scammer, yes. Entrepreneur. The youth them want to turn entrepreneur because them see the youth them have drive them Benz and them Young and Ray and them a travel and them a go this and them a go and them a do all these things. Them a live the lavish life, but them a do it in the fast lane. No, the youth them not humble, them not being taught principles because you know there's not both parents in the home, and if both parents are in the home, they're not being guided by the Most High in terms of how they are to grow their children. So we have a major conundrum, ladies and gentlemen, in our culture and in our society where that is concerned. But in all of the problems that's happening in Jamaica, we have been looking to men, the country, have been looking to the Prime Minister. Let me tell you something. It doesn't matter what Andrew Honest does. If he does not take the instructions if Andrew Honest does not take the instructions straight from the throne room of heaven, which is to call this country into declare it 3 days fasting, prayer, mourning, and repentance. If he doesn't do that, the country is not going anywhere, Jamaica. It's going all the way down to hell. That is it. There's nothing they can do because God is not with us. And them is not with God. Them is against God. Them working against God. And it go back right to that. The leadership is not taking instructions from God. Them is taking instructions from the devil. So all of these problems that you see, all of these uncertainties, more to come, ladies and gentlemen, more to come. But that is my time. I'm a little bit over 2 hours, and I am thankful that I was able to go through the stuff that I wanted to go through. And I appreciate the persons on TikTok. Again, we have fallen short in terms of the likes, ladies and gentlemen. My God, the like button. You guys bad mind the like button on TikTok. Big up to the people on YouTube. You guys seem to be doing a better job in terms of the amount of people that are here and the amount of likes that is here. Thank you guys so much. Alethea, how are you? God bless you. I am going to leave it there now for now, ladies and gentlemen. I will be back in 3 hours, 7:30. See you guys at 7:30, all right? God bless you. Have yourselves a wonderful afternoon or evening, all right? And how did the game go? How did the game go? You know, hear nobody talk about the game. Who play? Portugal and who play? Spain. Portugal versus Spain. Wow, Spain. Oh my God, Spain look out Portugal. Mighty God. No, sir. Why? Me not lie. Hey, that World Cup is still one way, brother. You tell me say, Ronaldo gonna yard. Oh my God, bro. So Spain bad? No, Jamaica. Let me ask you something. Do you guys know? How should I put this? Me recognize Ronaldo's talent as a baller, but me have Messi over him for a myriad of reasons. That's just me. Messi is greatest of all time as far as me concerned, right? But for Spain to hold Portugal to a 0, that at 1-0, do you know the level of discipline that you have to have playing against Ronaldo? Ronaldo love diving. As I touch him up this thing where him does, oh my God, and the referee him. I've watched him for years. And one of the things that make me rate him love dive. Him good at it. He's very good at it, I have to say. I have to give him props on that. But you lose to Spain 1-0? 1-0? No, Jamaica that act. Now I've got to do one next video for my TikTok for the Ronaldo fans then. One Messi. Yeah, me I get involved in football for the TikTok right now. I can't believe this. I don't watch a football game from the something start. Not even the only thing I see is some video on TikTok. Like some highlights, you know? The biggest goal I see on highlights, I haven't seen all of them, but the biggest goal I see on highlights is the what you call it? The place hot, you know? You can't see it on me though. Jesus, please. No man, this so cute. Why? Hey, I'm telling you something. Excuse me. I have some plans for your studio, you see. And I know say God go bless me. I don't get the confirmation from the man of God already. Pastor Peter Chambers. Yeah, I tell you say it's gonna cost some real money to do what I want to do. You understand what I deal with? Real money. I talk about proper setup. I have the vision of what I want in my mind. And it's going to manifest even further. But let me go to this. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is another football video. When the Ronaldo fans them, they want to come to in front of the class. When I get this work right now, all when Messi drop out, if Messi even drop out that World Cup and the winning World Cup, me still have going to that World Cup. On the field. On the field. Me can't imagine how I show speed a ball right now. Jeez and peace. You can imagine how I show speed about, ladies and gentlemen. Hey man, he hate Messi, you know. I'm not telling a lie. You have some Argentina fans who are racist. Like you have some Jamaican people who are racist. Like we're racist towards Mark Bolo. Yeah man. So you have bad people and good people in every nation. So this thing about you know have to tear down one whole nation. Me now work with you upon that. Big up Messi. In a real life. Some of you corrupt. You try to use these small little things. And all I flag at them, when they on TikTok, we support Brazil. We still up on phone case too, you know. Because you come after Messi too, you know. I got tired to see him face. Can't get him out of the race. No, you know, so something interesting going on more to talk about the football. We noticed one Simpsons episode where said the United States are going to win the World Cup. Jamaica. You see, if United States win the World Cup, you can't stop watching the World Cup here. And no disrespect to me United States fans them. But if a cartoon can predict the winning of the World Cup years before it happened, then the whole system is rigged. 100%. Don't know how them do it. But if the United States... We stop watch basketball, you know? Because the New York Knicks winning, you know? New York Knicks fans, I don't business. Won't want to tell me, say. There was an email from, an alleged email from the Epstein files that said the date of the email was before 10 years ago. It dated every single team that would win the finals up until New York. And this email came out before New York won the title. So you see all of these games and all of these things were a distraction. That's why I start shunning myself from them. It don't make no sense. It appears as if all of it is rigged. Wake up from out of the matrix, man. And stop ball, say Ronaldo lose and Brazil gone at the yard. No, calm down and go seek Jesus. Oh, I'm too. I'm not even a ball for Christ, but not a ball for footballer. Fix up on yourself. Nah, stop burning them out, Jamaica. Nah, stop burning them out. Anyway, when I get 3 minutes extra, look over here. Lord is love. Those, hold on, when I record all of that, did you realize? And what edit that video there? Look how more y'all people. Somebody said they ain't glad say Ronaldo lose. Mighty God. I don't really care either way, no, but just I thought they look at football at them. Well, they are kill up themselves. No business. It don't matter to me. All of it, it's just a distraction from the real issues them. I just want to see. So, it don't matter to me either way. We not ball if Messi lose the World Cup. Messi alright, Messi having family, Messi have everything, Messi good, Messi is blessed. You feel what I deal with? Yeah. I don't know if him ever retire from football this season, yeah, I don't know. But if anybody can play till them are 40, Lionel Messi. That young man has the perfect football height and fitness for last for a long while. May I tell you, him is an alien. Alright, he comes. Alright, my baby. See you later, boo. Call me. Big up on yourself, my people. Later.